going on, everybody? Thank you so much for coming back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Maleficent. A big thanks to Alex Madden for being here in this video to talk about Maleficent with me. You can find the link to his channel down below in the description box. I remember him commenting on my videos a long time ago, and ever since I've been checking out his content as well. He's got a great channel filled with tons of movie related content similar to me, so if you guys are into that kind of stuff, definitely go to the link down below in the description box and go give him some love. But for now, let's go ahead and get into my thoughts on Maleficent. This is a movie that came out in 2014 starring Angelina Jolie in the titular role as Maleficent, and without a doubt, I think this is one of the most unique of the Disney live action remakes or reimaginings, however you want to call them. If you guys have seen my channel, the ones that I have reviewed, for the most part, I am quite a big fan. Some of them feel unnecessary and some of them aren't necessarily the greatest of films. Some of them feel very cookie cutter and very much just like the original, but for the most part, I've enjoyed them all. It's just a nice, different way to see the story told in a more, realistic way, and I've just thoroughly enjoyed most of them, and even the ones that I haven't been in love with, I've at least enjoyed or just liked. I remember seeing this movie for the first time and being really into it. I really enjoy Angelina Jolie in the role. I think she's one of those people who was I remember there was like fan casting. Like, I believe that people really wanted her in the role, and when she was cast in the role, I remember not being surprised at all. It almost felt like the natural choice. And after having seen the movie, and I've seen it quite a few times at this point, I can say I really thoroughly enjoy her in the role. Now, I have reviewed the second movie here on the channel when it came out in theaters, but I didn't have the channel at the time that I had seen this movie, so I figured I'd go back and check it out this time around again and do a review for it. And yeah, this is a movie that I would say on the most part, I enjoyed. Now, there are things about the movie that are not absolutely amazing, but I think that Angelina Jolie really sells it as Maleficent, and we get to see a different side to the character. This is a character that in the original Sleeping Beauty. This is a character that in the original Sleeping Beauty film was, just a wicked witch lady who could turn into a big dragon. She was just the very cookie cutter, straight to the point villain. And I've always loved Maleficent. I have a lot of love for that original Sleeping Beauty film, and it's a movie that I've thoroughly enjoyed all throughout my life, especially when I was a kid. And Maleficent has always been one of the cooler villains, and I've always enjoyed seeing her pop up in other random things like Kingdom Hearts, where she's a fairly big villain. And yeah, I gotta say, seeing how they kind of reimagined her for this film, I really like it. I really enjoy Angelina Jolie in the role. And I think as a movie in and of itself, I think it's a fun fantasy action film with a lot of heart and a lot of charm. Now, that's not to say that this movie is absolutely incredible. There are elements about some of the dialogue and some of the writing overall that I don't think are absolutely amazing, but I think that this film is just a fun watch. It's a nice fantasy universe. The visuals of this film are really well done. There's a bit of a cartoonish element to it, but I feel like at the same time, it kind of fits the tone of the film. I think, again, Angelina Jolie really is what sells the movie mainly. Now, there are other great actors in this film, like Elle Fanning and Sharlto Copley, who I really enjoy in District 9. And I think they do a great job in this film. I think that Angelina Jolie and the supporting cast are really solid in this film, and I find the visuals to be pretty fun. Now, there is just, again, a bit of a cheesier kind of, cartoony vibe to some of the characters and some of the mystical creatures in this universe, but for the most part, I think it really works. I think it's a fun-looking film, and yeah, I think my biggest negatives mostly revolve around some of the dialogue and some of the story choices, but for the most part, I just find this to be a good, fun ride. If you haven't already understood from what I've been saying, this is a reimagining specifically of the character of Maleficent, telling us the story of Sleeping Beauty from a different angle, and I think that they do that really well. I think more so than any of the other Disney live-action remakes and reimaginings. This one really stands out for having a unique story, taking it in a different direction, doing something different with the character of Maleficent that we didn't see in that first Sleeping Beauty film. Now that I've rambled my thoughts on this movie, let's go ahead and hear what Alex had to say about this one.
Hey guys, my name is Alex Madden. I just want to say thank you to Anthony for bringing me onto his channel to do a really cool and interesting collab. I've never really done collabs outside of my channel before, maybe just one time. That doesn't mean I don't like people. I really do like people, guys. In all honesty, my schedule always just doesn't end up working out for the other person, but I'm glad Anthony had me do it this way. That way I could do it on my own time. I didn't have to worry about going online. So what are we actually going to be talking about? He brought me on to review Maleficent, and honestly, this is the first time I have actually seen Maleficent. So, disclaimer, with these Disney live action remakes, I'm not against them. I know a lot of people are just like, oh, they're so unnecessary, they're just there to make money. Yes, I agree, they are unnecessary and they're there to make money. The way I look at these though, I always wondered when I was younger how animation would translate to live action. That's really what I want to see with these Disney live action remakes. Yeah, obviously they're just there to make money, but there's some people like me that can actually enjoy them and watch them for what they are. Like, frickin', I like the Mulan remake, I like the Aladdin remake, I like the Beauty and the Beast remake, I like the Lion King remake. No, I don't. But you see what I'm getting at? You can still find enjoyment in these movies even though they're unnecessary and they're just there to make money. And like I said, for me, it's because I want to see how the animation would transition to live action and how that would come across on screen. Anthony wanted to review Maleficent. I said yes, so let's talk about some Maleficent. What do I think about Maleficent? I think the performances are really good. Angelina Jolie is giving it her all. Elle Fanning's really good in this movie. Sharlto Copley is really good. I also like the different perspective that we get in this movie, where it's told from Maleficent's perspective, not Sleeping Beauty's perspective. I thought that was a nice little flip. I like it when movies are able to do that. Give us the perspective of the villain and where the villain's coming from. It made the motivation a lot more clear for me for where Maleficent was coming from in the original Sleeping Beauty. And at times, this movie is visually stunning. Like, just the opening scene alone, you got like water and waterfalls, rock formations, people swimming through that water. It was amazing, man. But there are some times in this movie, visually, especially from a CGI standpoint, I kept thinking to myself, was this made in the late 90s or early 2000s? Was this like made when The Matrix Reloaded was still trying to figure out the CGI, so now everybody kind of looks like balloon people? You know, if you watch The Matrix Reloaded, everybody in that scene where Neo fights all the Agent Smiths, they all look like balloon people. That's kind of what it looked like to me in this. I was like, they really did not put any effort into that CGI, did they? That was a bit distracting for me, and tonally this movie's a bit all over the place. I just feel like it goes from light to dark a little bit too much, and then especially when it comes to some of the decisions the characters make, it's like, wait a minute, like 5 minutes ago you were just doing something good, now you're gonna do something really bad? Or, oh, you were doing something really bad, oh wait, now you're actually gonna do something really good? It just didn't make sense motivation-wise or tone-wise, but the biggest problem I have with this movie is by far the script. I think the script needed another rewrite. I think it needed to go through another drafting process. It just seemed like it was checking off boxes for these Disney live-action remakes, even though this is not the first one. It was one of the first ones, and when it gets to the end, you find out that, spoiler alert, Maleficent isn't really the main villain. That kind of lost me. I was just like, meh. I feel like you could have reworked that ending in the script to make it feel like you could have sympathy for Maleficent while actually being the main villain. And the way the movie actually plays out, to me, it didn't really portray her as the main villain. It was completely something else. And I didn't really like that. Overall, I just think it's an movie. I mean, I was happy I watched it. This was the first time that I watched it. I had held off for so long because I had heard so many terrible things or mixed things about the movie. Anthony asked me, I was like, all right, I haven't seen the movie, so might as well. And I thought it was fine. I don't think I'm ever going to watch it again. I like some of the visuals. The performances are really good. The bait and switch for the characters where we get different perspectives and we as audience members get to see where Maleficent is coming from because it focuses on her perspective is really good. I like the directing a lot, but the rest of the movie itself it doesn't really sit well with me. So what'd you guys think of Maleficent? I'm pretty sure you guys are going to drop some feedback in the comment section below. You can find me over at my official channel, Alex Madden, just my name. I know, very generic. You can also find me at my official website, alexmaddenmovies.mystrikingly.com. All of my social media links are there. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the movies somewhere.
A big thanks to Alex for being here in this video, my friend. Thank you so much for, number one, being in the video, and number two, I loved hearing your thoughts, I like to hear that you enjoyed a lot about the film, though, it is a bummer to hear that you weren't crazy about the film. I'm not necessarily crazy about it, but I do like it, and I definitely say that it's a film that I recommend. But yeah, it's a bummer to hear that it wasn't 100% for you. I actually saw that the director, I have his name written right here, Robert Stromberg. This was actually his first film that he ever directed, and I have to agree with you on some of the things you said about some of the dialogue and some of the story choices. I think without a doubt you can tell that this was a first-time director's film, and I think for the most part, for me, it works, but I do love hearing your thoughts and seeing where it didn't work for you. There's definitely things that you said that I agree with, but then there's something that you said that I don't agree with as much, and I'm very curious what you guys who are watching think about this. And that is the whole element at the end of the film where we see that Maleficent Maleficent isn't really the villain that we know her from Sleeping Beauty. They kind of do something different with their character here, where she's kind of the hero. And I think that's part of what I enjoy about this, because I feel like if you're going to remake something, if you're going to reimagine something, do something different. Now, I've also been here on the channel praising films like The Lion King because I just found it like a fun, good time that was a shot-for-shot retelling that didn't work for a lot of people. And I don't think it was better than the first one or the original Lion King, not by a landslide, but I do thoroughly enjoy the remake. And with this one, I would say what I think really works mainly is the fact that they really do something different with the character of Maleficent. It feels like more so than any of the other Disney live action remakes or reimaginings, it's the one that I think really kind of, I don't know, deserves a place in kind of just being made, deserves a place in the cinema world, mainly because it does something different. It reimagines the character of Maleficent in this different way. And I can understand, the disappointment of her character not being the big villain we expect her to be by the end of the film, and it kind of making her more of the good guy. I can understand that being a disappointment, but what I will say is that I think that they handled it well for me personally, and I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say about that. Do you like what they did with Maleficent? If you have seen this movie, do you feel like they should have kind of gone more with the straightforward, she's a villain route, or do you like that they kind of, flipped it on its head and kind of made her more of, a hero? So again, a big thanks to Alex for being here in this video. Loved hearing your thoughts. I look forward to doing more of these with you, my friend. Definitely go down below in the description box, guys. Give him some love and let him know I sent you. For now, I would say my biggest negatives of the film, like I mentioned, are that some of the writing and dialogue definitely don't work 100% all the time. And there are some moments of the film that I found to be a little slow. The cartoony CGI may turn some people off, but if you guys have been watching this channel for a while, you know that I am quite a fan of CG. And if it is cartoony and a little bit over the top, as long as it fits the overall tone and kind of visual aesthetic that the film has set up, then I think it's something that I can definitely lean into. And this is definitely a situation like that for me, where I think the aesthetic of the film that's set up, as well as the kind of cartoon CGI, I feel like it all fits with the tone of the film. I think one of my biggest negatives visually about this film are some of the night scenes. There are certain moments that just look so just muddied because of just how dark some of these scenes are. Some of it looks really good, but some of it not so much. But I really enjoy the performances. I really enjoy the characters and the journey of the film. And I really enjoy Angelina Jolie as Maleficent. I believe it. I'm sold by it. And I think she sells the character really, really well. So yeah, guys, that's going to be my thoughts on Maleficent. Definitely go down below in the description box and give my friend Alex Madden some love. Go down to his channel, give him some love, hit subscribe on his channel, hit subscribe on my channel, hit that like button down below and comment your thoughts on this movie. Do you like Maleficent or do you not like Maleficent? Please leave those comments down below. It's been a long day. Just got home from work, and obviously I'm kind of rambling a little bit here, but I just wanted to talk some movies with you guys. So a big thanks to you guys. Genuinely appreciate each and every single one of you guys who watches my videos. And if you guys are interested, you can go down to my Disney playlist on my channel and go check out my review for Maleficent, whatever the second one was called. What was the second one called? Maleficent. I should have probably written this down, but I talk about it more properly than in the video. So yeah, the second Maleficent, we'll just call it Maleficent 2. It has some subtitle. Something of Darkness?
Mistress of Evil.
Mistress of Evil. There you go. Thank you. My beautiful fiance just helped me. Mistress of Evil. Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. So yeah, I highly recommend checking out my review for that one as well. Overall, I would say that I've enjoyed these films. I think the first one's better. That might not really bode well for anybody who doesn't like the first one, but I think they both have things that kind of work. I think the first one's a better film overall. I think the second one has some elements that feel extra rushed compared to the first one, but I do highly recommend the two of them. They're good fun They're good fun action adventure films with some great fantasy elements, and I love that kind of stuff. It's a good time for me. This is a good time at the movies for me. So anyway, guys, I'm rambling at this point. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.